Is that everything? Right. There we go. Right. At 7. Someone else has joined. Hello? What's happened here? Oh, okay. Wait for people to start loading in, then we'll get started. Right, then we should be getting going. So I'm going to have to do the introduction, aren't I? Hi. Welcome to round 20 of 82. Is it 20? Yeah, it is 20. I've lost count of how many races we've done. And it's just me. It's just me, Deflated today. So I don't know what I'm doing. This is fun. Snacks is he's having a rest because he's going on holiday next week. I don't know when he's coming off, but you know. Like, he just left the ship with me to get this going. And I've not streamed for a while anyway, so... Hello, voice chat. Go away. The DeflatedWee show. Oh, it's only going to go well. Yeah, or Liam, either way. That's weird. People do the Liam show. Ah, interesting. Oh. That's a nice sweet. Alright, I just got some sweets from the cupboard I've not tried before. They're quite nice. So round 20 Mexico, I should do the thing. I was prepared, and I've lost where the championship standings went. They're somewhere on my phone. But I believe it's quite close. I could be wrong, because I'll be honest, I've missed the last couple of weeks, so I have no idea. I've got some Padge's got sweets for after. 82, there we go. Ah, yes, I see. So round 25 race, no, 6 races including this one. Many points still to go. Yeah, it's very close. I feel I'll run through that a bit later, in between sessions and all that for jazz. And it looks dry for the moment, which is decent. Because Mexico in the rain is a long day. Oh yeah, I should say that. Someone got offered to help. He offered to help me on the stream, but I was like, no, it's all right. I didn't say go do. No, I didn't do that. I didn't say go do something you're good at. I didn't do that. I just said I don't mind doing it by myself. I actually want to do a solo stream. I've not done one for ages. And so it just makes it change of pace, different scenery. That's not what I mean. Offers remembered I had a race, yeah. Apart from NA qualifying the other day. Oh yeah, it was wet in NA, wasn't it? I'm trying. Hang on, who's on track? Nifty's on track. Oh, some God not allowed to cry. We can't have some God crying. That's terrible. Anyway, got a pretty much full grid, 19 runners, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good one today. I've no idea. Hang on, let me check the. Let me hang on. Let's go on there. Anyone moaning in the 82 chat about the weather? It's raining. No one's complaining about the weather yet. Anyway, got the first lap of qualifying underway. It's going to be Nifty, who has the most wins and I believe has the most poles. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong because most things I say are in fact wrong, but that's fine. Anyway, DRS Open. He's used a lot of battery already. More than you'd ideally want to. Let's go on board for the first chicane actually. Hopefully it's not too loud. It should be alright. Neat and tidy. It doesn't clobber any of the curbs. Just keeps it in play. Oh, it's all sunny. That's interesting. 28-2 first sector for Nifty. See what we can do in the middle. We're going to get a gauge of people's wing level on this track, because if you run really low, you'll be a rocket ship on the straight, but in this middle sector you're going to be hurting badly. So we'll see. We'll get a rough idea of what's going on later on in the session. 55-5 middle sector split for Nifty. What are you eating? I got sweets, Sam. Got some, right. I'll explain what Nifty's crossed the line. 14-3 to start us off. So, when we went on a holiday earlier this year, we went to Epcot. And also they've got like the around the world thing there. And we've got all like the snacks and all that kind of thing. Got some Japanese snacks, like Japanese sweets. And they're honestly some of the nicest sweets I've ever had, so we ordered some more on Amazon. Right, who's next? Is it City? No, it is Novatech is invalidated. I should be paying attention. Moose, I believe. Who is also invalidated. That's not ideal. Penrose. What are you doing, my friend? 55-7 for middle sector, so it's a little bit down. And that gap maintains through sector 3. Okay. Got a McLaren in sector 3. That suite is stupendous. Right. JK, it's 56-9, slightly down. One thing I will notice with this track. You look at it, it doesn't look the most complicated track in the world. It's really hard to hook a lap up around here. Don't die on that sweep, bloody hell. Got a McLaren coming up to the line. That's Taz on an outlap. And that is Twisted on an outlap as well. Pit. Was that Moose again? It's Moose again. Let's go on. Nifty's retired, that's fair. 56-8 on the mediums for Moose. I actually do what I was going to do, get statistics up for pole positions. Oh yeah, oh yeah. 8 poles for Nifty. Okay. You bloody plum. Right. Penrose, P3. And then Greg puts a second on him on the same tyre. That's interesting. So maybe not a clean lap for Moose, or maybe that's just Greg's pace. We'll find out later on. He's Girthy Steve or Callum. He's made a boo-boo in there somewhere. You don't want to do that. But I believe... Yes, he's got a fuel in to go again. I don't... He did say he hasn't practiced yet, so this will probably be some practice for him. Looks up the curbs very well, actually. See what we can do in the first sector. Who's that? Taz has improved. Who's that? That is Twisted as well. 28-1 for Girthy Steve. And saying his actual game tag is weird. I'm just used to saying Callum. Oh, don't do that. Struggling with the rear end grip there. Got Novatech behind, and oh, dearing me. Very snappy through the S section there. What's Padge doing? Padge is starting a lap. Marlborough's on that lap. Yeah, let's watch Padge. Let's stay on board with Padge. Obviously, fan favourite in this league. We all love Padge. Want him to do well. So far, only 9 people have set a lap time yet. Got a lot of people shedding in the beers. I'm expecting... What are we expecting? We're expecting Marlborough to be towards the front. He's on a lap at the moment. I'm expecting Smaller to be up there because it's Smaller. He's... Right, with Smaller, right? Because he was in 81. And he's, because of the pace in there, has gone crazy as Padge backs off. The 81 pace has got to the point where it's worth trying. So Smaller decided to volunteer as tribute, let's say. Go down and see what happens in there. Someone towards the back end of 81, put him in 82, see what happens. And so far, I believe he's won both races. I could be wrong. Well, both races he's done. So, we're expecting him to be at the front, and Corgi's getting up there in pace as well. It's going to be... 82 is interesting at the moment. We've got Marlborough coming up to the line. This is not a great lap. Yeah, 60 and 8. And at the moment, oh yeah, Steely has gone up to P4. So there's P4 in the championship, I believe, and P4 on track. Here's Novatech, and now what's happened there is he's missing a bit of the front downforce. I don't know what wall he's hit. Probably at the start of the S's, I want to say. That's the only logical place I can think of where he's got wing damage. Let me use this, see if I can find anyone here. Let's go here. Actually got a time on the board now, as Gurfy Steve. Well, Steve not raced for a while. See, I'm so out of touch with 82 at the moment. If I miss like 1 or 2 races, I'm like, what's happened? So I'll figure it out throughout the stream. It'll be fine. I watched a bit of last week, but I was in the process of trying to move stuff in the room. You see, we're coming to the end of a lap for Go Steve. This is where he says he's struggling with just traction and just finding overall time. But the more you play, the more you drive the track, you'll get naturally better. And he's actually got a cross the line this time. Goes P5. Only a 10th off Greg. And a 10th off his teammate. On 4 lap hold mediums. That's promising. And let's take a moment to appreciate the gap between 3rd and 7th is 2/10. I think you should love to see. Salty Stevens is on the lap I've just spotted. Let's try and find him on here. Where is he? There he is. 28.7 for the first sector, 56.5. So a bit down on the front runners. He's going to be around the Taz J Clates sort of area, maybe with Moose as well. At P9 to P11 region, it looks like. Actually, he's going to go way in front of that. Yeah, put 7/10 on them. Fair enough. Up into P8. But yeah, this is one of those tracks. Who's gone up there? That's Corgi. Who's gone up to P3. Socks, a championship contender with Greg. Has gone in front of him. But, what was I saying? That was it. Mexico is not being the most popular track. It's either you're fine with it or you despise it. I don't think there are many people who love this track. I think because people don't like it as much, they don't drive it as much. So the gaps should be large. But I'm seeing a gap of 4/10 between 4th and 10th. So, you know. Dr. Chonk. What? Did I say Dr. Chonk? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Hello, Rids. How's it going? We've got a curve Steve lapping. I think he's just taking this as practice now. He's still got 3 laps of fuel. Got Smaller on that lap down here, so where is he? We'll keep an eye on Smaller because I think he's going to be towards the front. He's actually got Corgi right behind him as well. Let's go on board. I hope the audio is not too bad riding on board. Let me hang on. Let me turn my gain down. Right. See how it's on the screen. Ah, that's fine. Right. Don't mind me, I'm a sound engineer apparently. Right. I don't even know what that does, but here we are. Right, into turn one, uses a fair bit of road on the left. Hits the second apex, just brushes the third. That is lovely. Just what you want. I've had that sweet already. The first sector, 28.4. Not the fastest, actually. I've seen a fair few people go quicker than that. Still hear me fine, that's good. Oh, smaller. We've seen a few people do that now. We saw Callum do that, Gurvy Steve. And we've seen a couple others as well. On the curb in the S section that can easily throw off the car. He's still within play. 56.2. You know what? This isn't actually as electric and quick as I thought it would be. Maybe this is Smaller first laps. It could be, for all I know. I don't know who's done a vast amount of practice. Yeah, only P11. That's a shock, actually. Just off the names of people in the lobby, I had him penciled up a lot higher than that. I got Alex down there. Let's see what Alex is doing. Got 4 minutes left of Q1. Much wing. Yeah, he might be running really high downforce. Because the thing is, on this game, you're basically running Monaco wings everywhere, and it's really annoying. I didn't get a massive amount in Sector 2. No, see, that's the thing. You need to be in a very strong rhythm around here to find the time. Because if you're not, if you're slightly off, far off. Let me go on board with Novatech actually so I can explain. 28.3. Ooh. Not ideal for turn 5 though. You turned in a bit too early. Got on the curb and bottomed out. Yeah, through this X section, if you get the first bit wrong here, first turn in, it wobbles there and you're going to be losing time all the way through here. If you're slightly too far in the middle of the road or you miss the apex, that's more time. So it's very easy to just time just fall away from you in the middle sector. It's very hard to pick the time back up again in this final sector. That's the thing. It can be done, but it's a very tricky sector to drive this. It's all very slow speed. Steely retires in the pits. He should be safe on that. Novatech goes up to P12. And Jesus, look how close that grid is. Oh, this tier is very good at the moment. What's Richie doing? The only one... I've had a stroke. Yet to set a time, and he does. Goes P19, unfortunately. And he hasn't got enough fuel to go again, so that might be the nail in the coffin for Richie there. He's on a lap. He is on a lap. And he goes P3, in front of Corgi. The 10th off Penrose, but still 3/10 off what Nifty did on the first run. So he's definitely the man to catch at the moment. There's Penrose getting out of the way. Alex in the drop zone. We've got Marlboro in the drop zone as well. Padge is retired. He's in a bit of a pickle if Marlboro and Alex improve. Taz is still in the pits. I don't think Taz is going to go out again. He's very tight for time here. Alex is improving, but not by enough. He's going to have to find 6/10 in this final sector. Oh, Willow's got to do his own race. Boo. Why are you racing for? Don't do that. He doesn't take the tight line. He's losing time there by not taking the tight line up to the finish line. A wildcard on board with Richie again. We know he's not on a lap. Right, Marlboro. He needs this lap because we know how quick Marlboro can be. And starting at the back for him is not ideal. He's going to have a lot of cars to get through to get to where he rightfully belongs at the front. See what he can do here. Needs to get a good sector 1. He's found a 10th and a bit. Gonna have to find a bit more than that throughout the rest of the lap. Saying that, he doesn't have to find that much. Finds a few more 10s, just a couple hundreds here and there on each corner. That'll add up. And he should be able to plonk himself into the top 10, even if he finds 3 10s. See what we can do with a second sector split. And he's found the 3 10s with a sector to go. So he should be comfortable in the top 10 if he finishes his lap well. And I believe it's just Marlborough versus Padge for the drop zone right now. And I think Marlborough's going to get it. Up to the line here. And he goes P6. There we go. Oversteer is ruining Padge. Struggling with a rear end grip. And that is that. Is Spawner on a lap? Yes, he is. Let's see what Spawner does actually on his second run. See if he can tidy this up. And straight away he's found a 10th. See if we can follow Marlborough's footsteps and find 6 10ths. Because if he does, that puts him up there with Socks, Corgi and Gurphy. See what we can do in the middle sector. Uses. This looks a lot smoother than it did last time. Yeah, cutting all the right corners in the S section there. And this is... He's actually lost a couple of hundredths in there. Interesting. The time's just not coming for Smaller at the moment. I don't think... He's not using enough battery. He's still got 50% and he's coming in. Okay, maybe he backed off a bit to save the tyres. Why are we... Oh, Raxwell, that's why. I was like, why is the session not ended? Felt good in practice. Yeah, you see. Maybe the track conditions are messing with you, Padge. I don't know how much of a factor that plays in this game. Like track temperature, all that kind of thing. Maybe you're just driving it differently naturally because it's the actual session. I don't know. It's a tricky one to try and figure out that. Anyway, Nifty, with his one run that he did at the start, is at the head of the field in Q1, followed by Penrose, Sox, Corgi, Gurphy, Steve, Marlborough, Greg, Steely, Raxo, and Twisted. Well, I believe it's only in his second race. Let me have a look. Where is he? Third race, my bad. Into the top 10. Who have we lost? Oh, if I was clever, I'd have found out who was not in there. Brilliant. Well done. Anyway, Q2 now, and at this point we can start talking about the championship. Let's do that. So at the moment, we've got Greg leading, a 16-point lead in front of Sox, and behind Sox there is Nifty, who is 49 points off the championship lead. So I think realistically those three are the championship contenders. Unfortunately, Steely I feel is a bit too far back. With 6 races to go, he is 78 points off the lead. So realistically, it's possible, but he's going to need a lot of luck to go his way. I'm going to go used on the run first. Yes, wise, sensible. If you can get through on a used set, then you've got extra sets in the race in case anything crazy happens. But I will say, the softs are going to be rubbish around here in the race, and I don't think you should even just look at them unless there's like a 2-lap safety car mess at the end, because the mediums don't feel great here. The hards are the only viable tyre. The mediums are rubbish because they just start overheating, and in the S section you start dying. Like, it's not fun. Yeah, I think it's a 3-horse race in the championship between Greg, Sox and Nifty. The championship league could change today, but it will require a good race from Sox to win, and Greg having a poor race to overturn 16 points. My phone charger is not working. That's bad. Okay, we're on 100%, that's fine. Constructors wise, before Penrose starts his lap, is his team, RB, who are leading the way. 48-point lead in front of Ferrari. So it's very much two Italian teams fighting for the championship here. I finished all my sweets. This is a travesty. Anyway. What Penrose on a used set. So this won't be completely representative. We can imagine Nifty might be doing the same. And Nifty's right behind actually. So we'll keep an eye on the sectors between the two. I'll check the race director after sector 1. Or once Nifty's gone through it. 28-2. First sector for Penrose. And Nifty's come to the end of that now. So let's have a look. Where is he? There he is. 28-1. So he's found a 10th on Penrose. And we're presuming if this is apples to apples, used tyres to used tyres. It's probably not. I think it's safe to assume it could be. So let's go. We'll presume they're both used tyres for now. 56-0 for the middle sector. Sector split. What's Nifty done? 27-4. Go down to Penrose. 27-7. Okay. So maybe Nifty's not on the used set. Anyway, Penrose to the line. Not taking the narrow line. Interesting. What does Nifty do? Nifty will take the narrow line. And goes... Yeah, that's not used tyres. Not used tyres for the Mercedes. Got a Red Bull next. Is that stealing? No, it's Girthy Steve. Ooh! Okay, Girthy Steve's invalidated. Who was that? That was Socks, who spun in the stadium section. I didn't say castle section. Shut up. Maxwell goes P3. Marlborough P4. Got Corgi starting his outlap. Twisted on an outlap. Moose is on a lap. And I think he just cut that. Okay. I think he just cut straight through there. Anyway. See what he can do. He's going to have the... Is Twisted on... Oh no, Twisted on a lap as well. Jay Clates up at P3. Good lap from him. Twisted 28-1. So slightly behind what Nifty did in Sector 1. But it's quicker than what Penrose did. Greg goes P2. In the RB. So RBs are strong at the moment. So I think they're definitely championship favourites in AT2 this season. I don't know if RB/AlphaTauri's won a Constructors. Actually, no, they probably have actually in Gnosis when Ross was there. Oh, good times. Anyway, we got Twisted up to the lines mid 15, 15.3, low 15, and that is Moose come up to the line 15.5. See what Girthy Steve can do. I don't know. I think this has to be another set of mediums because it can't be the same set. 28-1. He's gone quicker than what Twisted did in Sector 1. So even get the traction out of here better this time. Yeah, he puts the power down much better this time. Last time we saw him, he was all over the place. Puts out nicely. Very smooth. Ah, missed the apex of the end of the S's there. It is rather annoying. He's got Mercedes behind him. Of Corgi, I believe that will be. Yes, it will. Actually, he's already done a lap, so that's fine. He should be okay. And he comes into the pits. Okay. I'm hoping he's not using up mediums that he's going to use in the race. Because if he does, he's kind of screwing himself, because used tyres are rubbish on this game. There's no point using them. Because what happens on this game is you'll do your first lap, and then you'll probably keep it within that peak window for maybe a lap or two, and then you'll lose 6/10, about that. And then gradually, as the stint goes on, you'll lose a little bit more time, and then by the end of the stint, you're lapping a second and a half slower, depending on the track. So ideally, you want to have that extra time at the first laps of your stint, just to make up extra time. So that's why people don't really use tyres on this game in the race. Like at the end of if there's a late race safety car, you've got a set of used softs. It's better to just stay out on your used mediums, because the used softs will be rubbish. That's what I feel anyway. And that quick one is done. Steely and Smaller will be line astern. So it'll be interesting to see how these two compare. Red Bull goes through shot there. Smaller, he's improving compared to his Q1 pace. Maybe he's got more of a race setup actually. We know Smaller's got pace. 15.3. And there's Smaller's pace. 14.7. There he is. He's finally arrived. Next we've got Salty. He's the next one to do a lap. I think Salty, I don't know if his previous races, because as I said earlier, I've missed a couple of races recently. Who's that? That was Penrose improving to go just over a 10th behind Nifty. As Salty goes just in front of his teammate. Wow, just in front of his teammate. Yeah, Salty might have horrendous luck, because the races I remember seeing, he was getting screwed. So hopefully those races are behind him and he can actually finish a race in a good position. And I believe... Here we go. Set of softs. We haven't seen Go for Steve on a set of softs yet. He was in top 5 at the end of Q1 on very used mediums. So I'm curious to see how far up the grid he can get. He's in 4th. Good run. Oh, man, it has a wobble on exit. This is not what he needs. What would... he turned the battery off, so we can't even get a real gauge of what it would have been. If I was him, I would back off a lot and save for tyres. Because he's got the pace to get into the top 10. So he's on an in-lap. Let's watch Greg, actually. Let's do that. Where is he? There he is. He's on an outlap at the moment. And we'll see what the championship leader, see if he can get any dent into Nifty's time. Get any closer than his teammate did. We've got 5 minutes left of Q2. So this might be Greg's last run. He won't need to go again, I don't think. But it's just seeing how far up the grid. He's already up P3. How close he can get to Nifty. So into the first chicane. What was it that Martin Brundle says? A hop, skip and a jump over the curbs. He doesn't trouble them actually. Maybe that's just the way he prefers to go through there. And he used a lot of battery as well. Through there. See if that pays dividends. 28.0 in the first sector. That's interesting. We'll have to go through and compare the top guys' sector times and see where they're getting the time. We'll do that after Greg's done his lap here. We've also got Girthy Steve in front. He's also on a lap. Hopefully this one will be valid for his sake. Both of them still going, so it looks like they're both clean. Greg's found 3/10, so he's actually very close. And with his final sector, he could plonk this in P1. With a good final sector here. Looks up quite nice. I'm not seeing any problems. As Girth Steve goes P3. And Greg up into P2. Did he lose time there? I didn't see what the delta was at the end. That's rather annoying. Anyway, let's compare the sector times. See who's gaining where. It's 28.1, 27.4, 18.6. Oh, wow. Yeah, Nifty's really putting some time on people in the final sector. That's where it all is. Because the middle sector's not actually... It's the final sector that he's doing it. Penrose is close. Yeah. I think Penrose and Nifty are doing similar laps, just Nifty's finding a little extra time. And what's happening here? Gurphy, same thing. He didn't hook up his best first sector. That's interesting. So there's more time in that. Okay. Well, Smaller's not too far behind as well. Actually, no, it's 3/10 back. So I would say the top four are pretty safe. I think Smaller's kind of in no man's land on that 14.7, but I think he's safe. Jay Clay's with a very good lap to be P6 so far. I think he's touch and go, I believe. That's what I feel. I think Steely can get into the 14th. I think Corgi can as well. He's basically already there. Marlborough hasn't done a representative lap. He was into the top 6. Sox hasn't even done a lap yet. And he needs this actually. He can't afford to be P15 while his championship rival's in P2. So Sox needs this lap. Anyone on a lap? We've got a few people on laps. I believe Ruxwell is on a lap. Yes, just started it. And I'm going to put this into the universe, right? He reserved an 81 this week on Thursday. And his pace at the end of the race was rather terrifying. He was catching me at a rate of knots, which was scary. So, I don't know if that means I'm 82 pace around Mexico, or Raxwell was cooking. So I'm curious to see what he can do in 82 today. So far, he's not been... It's going to sound quite harsh. He's not been stellar, not been amazing so far. But we'll see what he can do here. Maybe it's his race pace that will carry him. And there's lots of cars in close proximity here. 6/10. That'll put him in between Jay Crates and Smaller. I think being so close, he's getting slipstream. So we're going to have a flurry of cars. Salt is starting his lap. Novatech goes P8. Yep, Raxwell goes P5. So in front of Smaller. So we found more time there. Sox is starting. So let's do that. Oh no, he's not. That's Marlborough starting, my bad. But Sox needs this lap. What is he going to do? 55.7. That is competitive. He locks up, hits the curb. He's still within track limits though. So he just needs to wind the lap down and cross the line. And then he should be safe. There's a nice gap between Smaller and J Clays he can slot into there. But he ignores it and goes P4. 5 thousandths in front of Gurphy Steve. So that's good for him. Corgi is flying. Jesus, Steely goes P7. Corgi might. And he does go fastest. That's a shock. I wasn't expecting him to go that far up. Twisted just gets into the top 10. That puts Novatech out, unfortunately. So he's not improving. So that is Salty out. Moose is coming to the pit. So that's Moose P14. Marlborough could be a big name going out here. And he is! He's actually out! Okay. Maybe he's not confident around here. Maybe he just didn't hook the lap up. But either way, one of the front runners is actually out in Q2. Jay Clates is also at P11. That's unfortunate. He had a very good first run. I think he invalidated one of his later runs. Yeah, it was a Mercedes 1-2 and RB 3-4. We've seen a lot of that in qualifying actually this season. They seem to be the four who can extract the lap time in Q3. So just waiting for Novatech to get wheeled back into the pits. What am I looking at here? Right, I'm not gonna say that on stream. That's a funny joke. Yeah, that's Corgi fastest, and I think that will set up a Q3. That's the one I'm looking for. Quite nicely. So Mercedes 1-2, RB 3-4. And in the drop zone, we've got J. Clayton Marlboro, the big shock there. Novatech P13, Salty P14, Moose P15. And now, we've got Q3, where the top 10 are separated by 6 tenths. So this should be fun. Novatech, my career is done so. Oh dear. You're not that far off, to be fair. It's only 4 tenths. Around Mexico, it's easy to lose that time. Only. Well, as I say, it's easy to find and lose time. Well, no, it's easier to lose the time. It's harder to find the time, but it is there. Right, now we got Q3. This is where it gets interesting. See who can hook the lap up with keeping in track limits. Because we've seen a few invalidations today. Who's that first? Mercedes is out first. That's probably Nifty. No, he's going to get jumped by Penrose. Penrose? Penrose. Can I view him, please, game? Or can we just not? There we go. So yeah, Nifty's going to be... I believe Nifty's only done 2 laps in qualifying so far. And he's been at the front for 99% of the time. It was Corgi with a very good lap to go in front of him at the end of Q2. It'll have to be... I feel like it has to be something similar to that level to topple Nifty today. And as you can see, with how powerful the slipstream is on this game, Nifty's not going to lose him. He's going to get very close to that RB, I feel. So what does Penrose decide to do? Does he decide to just go for it? Or is he going to let Nifty go? Nifty backs off a little bit. See, I wouldn't like to start my lap this close because the smoke would put me off. With Nifty on PlayStation, yeah, that's PlayStation, yeah. It'll still be there. Anyway, let's go on board with Penrose. And they're going to be catching a Red Bull and a Mercedes. I don't know who that is, because we've got both of them. Actually, no, that's going to be Corgi. And that will be Steely as well. So at the end of Sector 1, we've got Penrose, 28.3. That is not a brilliant first sector for Q3 standards. Let's see what Nifty's done. Nifty, 30.5, even worse. So not a good first run from Nifty. Scurfy Steve's done, gone purple. So quicker than what Penrose did. I don't know if it actually was purple, because the way the game works is interesting, to say the least. Yeah, Nifty's backed off. 55.7 for Penrose. That's not electric. It will put you into the top 5 in Q2, but this is Q3 now. You need to step it up into this final session. See what you can do. Takes a middle of the road approach. 14.3. That's not quicker than what the top 2 did in Q2. Let's see what Steve can do. up to the line. He showed pace, and he's lost a bit of time in sector 3 there. Who's that? Is Raxwell next? Who I believe invalidated. Nifty also invalidated. Sox 49. What's Greg doing? Greg's coming up to the end of his lap now. Can he join his teammate on the front row? He goes fastest. But again, we're not beating what the top two did in Q1. Q1? Hello. Q2. That is Corgi, not Corgi, the other one. Smaller. On an outlap. Corgi has invalidated. Let's see, what did I say? Invalidation. Raxwell's invalidated as well. So I think only half of the field will be able to set a valid lap at the start of Q3. And that is not what you want, because that just builds pressure, adds pressure for your final run, and that's where mistakes were. Steely is going to make it 5 to complete a lap and goes just behind his teammate in P4. Got twisted now. Because I believe... Actually, this is on a lap. What am I saying? And he's on course to go provisional pole. My rough guesstimation. And he does. 14-1. The quickest seen so far. And that was on his second lap. Where the tyres will not be at their freshest. So that will say a lot. Small as, I think, 2/10 off at the moment. So he's teeing himself up for a P3. Maybe a front row. If he has a good final sector. Which doesn't look too bad. And he's on the front row in front of Greg. So at the end of the first runs, only 2 people invalidated. Which isn't that bad, all things considered. We've got Corgi going out already. So is he going to try and score his 3 runs here? Because I don't think Mexico you can. Considering it took him 6 minutes to do, pretty much 6 minutes. To do his outlap, invalidate his first attempt, back into the pits, and then go out again. Really, I don't think it's possible to do 3 runs. I could be chatting out my bum, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so we've got just over 5 minutes now. We're in the lull period where we're just going to have Corgi either track to himself. I guess Steve's gone out as well, I've just noticed. So maybe they're covering out his fuels, Corgi got actually. Corgi's only got fuel for 1 run. I'll go back to him in a minute. I might go for Steve. Can't see. Hello telemetry. 1 run as well. Okay. So they might be able to... I think you can squeeze 3 runs in here, but it'll be a case of you abandon this run. Which you might not want to do. Hooks up the first apex very nicely, but misses the second. And that's a crucial one you want to hit. Corgi will be looking if this run would be enough. If not, he returns to the pits on a flying. Yep. That's what I think will happen. 28-2. Not brilliant. In the first sector. What does Nifty do in the first sector? Because I actually didn't see. 27. Wow. He's hooked that very well. But he didn't hook up the final sector as well as he did before. That's interesting. There's more time in that for Nifty. Meanwhile, we've got Corgi using all of his battery. 55.6. It should be... Oh, I don't know. I don't know where this will put him. It's going to be close. This should be top 4. But where in the top 4? It's all very close. It's going to be hard to fit a Mercedes in there. But he does squeeze it. Wow. 1,000th of a second in front of Penrose. He splits the RBs. That's interesting. What's Girth Steve doing? He's matched what Nifty did instead. 6/10. And if he does all this right, we could see a 13. Oh, he's gone over the apex. Oh dear. Bit clobbered. It's not the best final sector. He's left his overtake on. Now he's turned it off. And it shouldn't matter. He goes into the 13s. F Steve 13-9. Oh, I'm so proud. So, the gauntlet's been thrown down. If you want to get pole, you have to get into the 13s. And you know what? He's going to be kicking himself because he knows there's more time in that. Let's compare sectors. 18-8. Yeah, and he went faster on his previous lap. Look at that. Wow. That was a good lap. He put 2 tenths on everyone. Apart from Greg. He put a tenth on Greg in the middle. 2 tenths on everyone else. You know what it is? It's the F2 running we did. Oh, hello, voice crack. Hello. Where did that come from? It's all the F2 running we did around Mexico just for fun. That's what it is. And Penrose. Has Penrose got enough fuel to go again? Yes, he does. Okay. We've got Girthy Steve. He's done. He's not going to get in and out in enough time to do another lap. We've got Nifty. I think Nifty can go into the 13s. It's realistic he can. But can he hook it all up? We've seen of his Q3. He's not bulletproof. He made that first mistake. Penrose is on a lap. We'll see what Penrose does in the first sector. Looks up the first apex, second apex. Nice. Very good. Very good first sector. Let's see what his reward is at the end of that. 28-1. Significantly quicker than what he's done previously. The first sector was never his strongest. He's gone not quite the same pace as the top two, but he can make it up in the rest of the lap. Because neither of their laps were perfect. Big slide in the middle sector for Penrose there. Go back to Nifty in a minute. It's fast. He's lost time as Penrose. Right, let's look at Nifty. See what Nifty's doing. 27.9. He's improving. And Penrose is validated. So that's P6 at best. Now let's see what Nifty does. This middle sector will be very telling. See what you can do here. See if pole position is on. Pole position number 9 is on the cards. It's there for the taking. He needs to find a little bit more. And this is where we sort of see making a couple of mistakes. This looks tidy. And I think Nifty's going to have this. Got the traction down well. This should be a 13.8. And it is a 13.8. He put a 10th on Girthy. Good lap there. What's Smaller doing? He's just starting his lap. What's Greg going to do? He's down at the moment. Is that Raxwell right behind him? Yes, it is. Is he invalidated? No, he's starting his lap very close. Okay, fine. We'll keep an eye on that. What's Sox doing? 28-1. Okay, so we shall... Who's next? It'll be Greg. Greg first and then Raxwell right behind him. He's barely improving. He's not going to be able to gain any positions from this. Twisted's behind these two, so we'll get on board with him after this. Greg round the final corner. With a Nigel Mansell curve. He goes in front of Smaller. Raxwell right behind him. They've both jumped Smaller. Smaller is on course to respond. And a good final sector could see him on the pole position here. Or at least the front row. Twisted goes P6. Sox P6 now. So behind his championship rival. Here comes Smaller. P3. Didn't quite get into the 13s. Only 2 people have done it. Who was that? That was Corgi. 14-1. And Steely is the last one. Who's invalidated. So there we are. Nifty pole number 9 this season. You can see why he's got so many poles. But I'll tell you what, Girth Steve gave him a good run. Only other driver to get into the 13s. Smaller P3, Greg P4. That is a good top 5. Good top 5. And then we got Raxwell's Socks right behind. We can race from here. This will be a good race. Let me have a look at the 82 Discord while we're waiting for Stevie to get wheeled back in. There we go. Oh, no one's making any noises. What are you doing? Nifty on pole then. Not a shock. What I'm going to say is a shock. Girth Steve front row. I don't think people would have penciled him in there. I knew he had pace, but I don't think people in 82 did. Because they wouldn't have seen... I think this is only his third 82 race. So, yeah. Well, his third 82 race since he got his rig, so, yeah. Smaller P3, Greg, Corgi, Raxwell, Socks in P7. 3 places behind Championship Rolls. So it's going to have to be a good drive to make a dent in that. Twisted, Penrose invalidated, and Steely couldn't quite hook a lap up in the end. So now we've got the 5-minute break. And the people who are out in Q1 and Q2, welcome back. We're selecting tyre strategies and all that wonderful jazz. Hang on a minute, I'm going to do a thing. We know what the rough strategy is. It will be a medium hard or a hard medium. But it's a case of when do you pit? When is the... Hello? Oh, I need this. There we go. Go away. When would we say the ideal pit window around here is? Well, the mediums don't last long. And I remember, I think of memory earlier this week, people on mediums were pitting from around lap 10, not really early. Because the hards are good around here. The hards are just, they're too good on this game. Hello, why am I in game chat? Hello. Damn. Right. Fix that. I'm in a party again. So drivers can't hear me. Imagine if they actually heard me in game chat then. That would be quite funny. What time are we going? I believe it will be 4 minutes from now. That's fine. Gives me enough time to run you through the championship standings again. Might as well. And give some stats actually. Let's do that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, right. So Socks and Greg, the 2 championship contenders, I'll say, the 2 closest, Nifty slightly further back. Socks and Greg have had very similar seasons. They've got 2 wins each. Greg's got 2 poles, Socks has 1. 12 podiums for Greg, 9 for Socks. But Socks has more points finishes. Greg's had a DNF somewhere. I don't know where that DNF was. I can't actually remember. So those 2 have very similar seasons. Then you got Nifty with a completely different approach. 8 poles, 5 wins, which I believe are all consecutively. And then 9 podiums, 15 points finishes. So, very interesting how these 3 have ended up here with having such different seasons. I think you have to say that Greg and Socks have been more consistent throughout the season, given their stats and where they are. You look at Nifty stats, 5 wins and 8 poles, 15 points. You presume they're towards the front, but he's obviously had some low finishes somewhere, and that has hurt him, being 49 points off championship lead. Where's Mercedes in the constructors actually? They are 3rd, 98 points off lead. Okay, so there's not really a constructors championship. There kind of is between RB and Ferrari. But with how strong both of those lineups are, I doubt there's going to be races where neither of them score points. So it's an uphill task for Ferrari to get that done. Considering Marlborough, I believe, is starting P12 today. So there's going to have to be a good dive bomb incoming. Oh, God. Well, we saw Mexico. Ideally, you do want to start P3. Because it's the longest run to turn 1, I believe. I could be wrong. I don't know what is longer than Mexico. So yeah, the longest run to turn 1. And with how powerful the slipstream is on this game, you want that. So I think, what was it, on Tuesday, I believe? We nearly went 4 wide into turn 1. So that was fun. And I would not be surprised if we see that again. And let's be honest, the reason why I think this could be a good race is lap 1 here. The first chicane invites collisions. It invites chaos. And with 1982 drivers, I can imagine it could get a bit messy, which is fun. Let's be honest. Or is it for people that not like casual sports fans, let's say, or people who aren't interested in F1? They just think it's fun for the crashes. They watch the first lap and the last lap, but don't watch the middle bit because that's where the chaos is, the first lap. So I can't remember if I'm allowed to check the race director at this point. I'll wait till they're on the grid. Let's do that. We should be going any moment now anyway. As soon as you said it, timer went. Nice. See, some would say I'm him when it comes to like timing in these things. Why are they holding the EE flag? What the hell? Anyway, got the formation lap now. I'm going to bring up. I don't want that. No, I want that. I don't want that. Hello. I want. Okay. So everyone's on the mediums. Safe bet. And yeah, people towards the back. So we've got Novatech, Moose, Alex and Taz. People outside the top 10 start on the hards. That is a viable strategy. Because we saw it work with this man on Thursday. He started towards the back, put the hards on, went long in the first stint, and then was flying and finished P6 on the road in 81. Unfortunately, he had a few penalties. He dropped back to 8th or 9th, I believe, which is a shame. But yeah. So we'll see what those 4 on the hards can do. Owing to the fact they don't get caught up on lap 1 chaos. And we've got a bit of a split here on the formation lap. We've got Raxwell. I think the technical term is dilly-dallying. Let's say that. On this formation lap. It's a very fast formation lap from Nifty. He wants to get the tyre temperature up. And possible race strategies. The game recommends a 2-stop. Yeah, don't look at that. And it recommends stopping lap 16. No. You can, but it makes more sense to pit a little bit earlier, like between lap 12 to 15, I think. Get the undercut and just get off the mediums. We've got people. Is this going to be the first like start where it's a sensible camera position? Oh my god! I dreamed for this day. Let me do this. Oh, very professional. Look at that. I'll wait till the grid's formed up. Waiting for, unfortunately, a very realistic sight is Sauber at the back. Waiting for Richie to park up. There we are. And it's 5 lights now. 5 lights on. And we are underway in Mexico. It's a good start for the front row. The second row has had a much better start than the front row. And we've got Greg pulling alongside for top 2. Smaller looking on the outside. Girth Steve and Nitty side by side. As Girthy Steve takes the lead down the inside. There's Greg sliding around back there. Smaller right next to him. We're going to be side by side. Greg on the inside, Smaller going to hang it round there. Wheel to wheel. Everyone seems to be behaving at the moment. Everyone's kept it clean. No front wings flying or anything like that. I say that. Jake Clates has made a move. Nearly Verstappen twisted. Oh, and who's that who's got off? That was Moose. Moose and Novatech having a robust exchange, I think let's say. And I think that's an illegal overtake. He's letting Novatech back through. Oh, and it's all chaos back here. Wow, okay. Let's go back to the front. Oh, go for Steve. Big snap. Needs to calm down, I think. Needs to keep it calm. He's fighting in the front, and the top 5 have broken away. Now I've done that. Let us do not that one. Hello. That's the one. There we go. Right. Biggest gainers. Only 2 positions gained is the max. Nifty goes deep into turn 1. Go Steve had a much better run. Does he think about diving this? I don't think there's a point. Nifty's gone deep again. Nifty is struggling to get into the rhythm in the race. We've got Penrose who dropped back a bit. I think he's one of the losers on that one. He dropped a few places. Got Smaller glued to the back of that RB. You see on the steering wheel he's burning battery. He's going to go for it. Greg covers. Couldn't quite cover it in time. Smaller's up the inside so Greg hangs it round. Fair play. Got a yellow in sector 2. That is Taz. Unfortunately, we've got these two having a ding dong. And what was that? Was that Corgi touching there? Oh my god, what's happened now is the top 2 of let's watch. Has Greg got DRS? No, he doesn't. So this train now needs to be smart. They need to work together. But you can see they're not working together, they're going 3 abreast. And Corgi and Smaller, they've come together. Smaller's off. Corgi. Oh, what's happened? Hello. Greg has somehow emerged in P3, 2.5 seconds behind the top 2. That was not good from those 3 drivers there. I think Corgi went in a bit too deep. He was too eager to get past. And it screwed over Smaller, who's now P12. So he's going to have a lot of work to do. While that was going on, Girthy Steve took advantage of the DRS. He's now in the lead. I could imagine these two are going to start breaking away. Red Bull versus Mercedes. It's just like being 2021 again. Beautiful stuff. And they're just pulling away everywhere from Greg at the moment. See what Raxwell can do, because he'll be able to get past in the DRS. Corgi should follow him. Sox had a good start. Girthy Steve with the fastest lap of the race. Raxwell with DRS now. See how many positions Greg loses out as Nifty predictably makes the move on the Red Bull. Only Greg doesn't lose much. I think Greg's got low wings then. But Raxwell, lovely bit of driving. Very clean with Greg. Corgi takes advantage, follows him through. And with that clean battle we had with Raxwell, he's now lost 3 places because Sox have got past him. And look at this train. Wow. That train extends from P3 all the way down to P12. Salty Stevens gets a track limits penalty. We're going to see a lot of those today. And Steely's left. That is not ideal. Let me just do some magic real quick. No, not that one. He wouldn't appreciate an invite to the party. I think a game invite would be preferable. Yellow in sector 2. That was Novatech, unfortunately. He's round in the grass. Still got his front wing, so that's good. Meanwhile, up at the front, swap of position. obviously gets very close to the back of that Red Bull. Meanwhile, behind, there's more ding-dongs. Oh, who's that? Who's that went off? Is that Greg? That's Greg. And what am I seeing? We're going to go nearly 5 wide? What's happening? Corgi, I think, cut the corner there, just trying to keep it clean. Novatech is, I think, going to call it quits in the pit lane. We've got about 10 seconds, and I'll be honest, no clue what happened in there. All I know is we went 5 wide at one point nearly, and it was terrifying. I could see collisions happening, but only a track limits warning, and Sox is the big beneficiary now. And whatever happened to cause that, it means Rackville's broken away. This is a massive train. Now we've got Corgi's going to be the beneficiary of DRS now. And here comes Greg, who is a rocket. He has definitely got low wings. That was a very tight squeeze. And he's gone way too deep. Way too deep in there. Okay, so what we've learned in that, Greg is a rocket ship. And that, who's that? That was Penrose taking advantage here. RB swapping places. Sox was in P4, now he's P6. What's going on? Oh, that is Jay Clates. Bouncing off of Greg. Twisted makes his way through. This is chaos. This is brilliant. I'm really enjoying this. Right, so we've got Corgi at the front of his train. Now it's Penrose's turn to get into P4. And what he's done there is he's gone over the line one too many times. Or 3 too many times. That's my professional diagnosis there. He's got a 3-second time penalty. He's run wide in the hairpin. That is a very tricky corner. Tags with 3 seconds. They're coming in thick and fast. These track limits penalties. Got Penrose half a second back. That's what you need. Swapping the lead. Those top 2 have checked out, and Raxwell's matching their pace. Moment. Salty's going to the pit lane. Girthy Steve, 3-second time penalty. Not ideal. Still on course for P2 at the moment. It's still early days, but I think that takes a bit of pressure off of Nifty because he knows how hard everyone around him is pushing. Raxwell is flying. You can see the delta coming down there. We'll keep an eye on that. It's about 3.3, 3.4. We'll keep an eye on that in a couple of laps' time. And while that's going on, we've got Penrose at the front of the queue still. Corgi is shaping a move up in here. That was, I'll be honest, a silly decision to do because he's going to get DRS'd down the big straight and lose multiple positions. Penrose and Sox side by side. If I was Sox, I'd back out of that. Oh, this is manic. Greg and Sox now side by side. Jay Clate's following Greg through. And somehow, Padge, fastest lap of the race, let him cook. And somehow, with Corgi doing that unconventional sense, causing chaos behind, he's been able to hold on to that. Oh, it's a bit of a touch there. 3-second time, but for time penalties at the top of the screen. Just crazy. Oh, that's not good from Corgi. Well, he just needs to dial it back a bit. He's being way too aggressive. This is something we've been saying a lot this season. A smaller. Was that the most unconventional place to send it? This is... It was fun to start with. It's getting a bit questionable now, it has to be said. With some of these overtaking attempts. When cars are in this close proximity, you don't go for these silly moves. Regardless, nevertheless, it's entertaining. And this is, I want to say, round 9. Jay Clates, good save. Very good save. Keep that point in the right direction. He's lost a place of socks. But considering how bad that could have been, I think he'll take that. Smaller's made a move past Twisted. Penrose has made his way past Corgi. And it's starting to spread out a bit as Twisted gets a little bit shaky on the exit there. It's Corgi again, squeezing the RB, this time of Greg. I think it's something we've noticed and we keep saying this season. Corgi, we know he's quick and we know he's got the pace to win these races, but it's either a mistake with Corgi or he drives way too aggressive. So I think he just needs to dial it back a little bit and then he's on course to win lots of races. And that's Socks trying to do the Corgi on Greg. Two championship rivals, of course. Keeping it very respectful. That is a brilliant overtake from Socks there. Unfortunately though, it's not going to help him. He's not going to have DRS and Greg is going to come flying past. And it might not just be the RB, it could be the Aston Martin and the McLaren. We could be going 4 wide here. We are going to go 4 wide here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we're just going to turn that off. And that is very expected. Jay Crate's got sandwiched there. Socks has Greg off. Greg might have got track limits for that. Smaller's going to try and force it down the middle. It's not quite going to work. Steely's... I didn't realise Steely left again. I didn't realise. That's annoying. We're trying to keep up with this bloody chaos. As we're still side by side. I think Smaller's... Yeah, Smaller's now got Socks. Now, Socks made that beautiful move for P5. No, P4. No, P5. On Greg. Oh, I've actually lost count. Who was it? I don't know. He made a beautiful move on Greg. And now he's P8. Only in front of his teammate. And as much as we're enjoying this squabble, the gap that they've lost to Raxwell in P3 is insane. And I think this goes to show, hopefully 82-year-olds will watch this back and see, some fights are not worth picking. And the amount of time these people have lost, they've written off any chance of a podium unless there's a safety car. So yes, it's good fun to watch, but they're sacrificing a better result for themselves. And I think this conversation was had at some point recently. The difference between we've got yellow, I'll come back to that in a minute, is Twisted, I believe. It's spun around. I can't. Oh, that doesn't work. He hasn't got any wing damage, so it's continue as you were. Meanwhile, the top two very relaxed. Braxwell as well. And when we go back to the chaos. And as I was saying, the difference between 81 and 82, at least historically, was not only pace, but racecraft and decisions, when to attack, when to defend, and just experience. And I think that is Greg! Greg and Corgi come together! Steely's left again, so I'll have to invite him in a sec. But that is huge. The championship leader has come together with Corgi, and I believe they both have wing damage. We'll see if Corgi comes to pit. Twisted, I don't know what's happened with him. Oh, both Saubers are at the... Oh dear, I don't know what's happened there. Corgi, yeah, Corgi does have damage. I hate to say it again, but is that Corgi being too aggressive? Moving in the straight line? While that's happening, I'll get Steely back in. So yeah, for the championship, that could be huge. We could see another... That's Moose. Why am I inviting Moose? I'm all over the place right now. Invite to game. Right. As you were. That's mixed it up a bit. Socks isn't going to benefit that much. He's only in P6. So he's going to have to make some moves in order to take the championship lead, because Greg is last. Twisted with a 3 second. And I think with the gaps on track, there's no immediate dive bombs or overtaking attempts. As Gertie pits very early, going for the undercut. I was just about to say we're in a calm stage. We might not be anymore. But unfortunately... Oh, is this a good thing for him? I don't know. We've got Sox pitting as well, so that takes one car out of it. But he's going to emerge. Is he going to be right behind this DRS threat? No, I think he's going to have a gap. Just by Padge. Just... Okay. And he's got just enough of a gap where he should catch Padge in a good spot. Where either Padge will let him go, or he'll just be quick enough to make the move. We'll see what happens here. Because this is an undercut. Padge is weaving and he's going to let him through. They're not going to sacrifice either of their races. Padge knows that's not his fight. And I think Gertie will be appreciating that. He's got his teammate in front, who I did invite. I'll quickly send him another one. Quickly send an invite. There we are. And, oh, there we go, yep. So tell you, that was a good spot where Gertie ended up in there. Is Nifty going to respond? He doesn't. Okay, right. So Nifty's seen that undercut. He's accepted what's happened. He's got, right, I'm going to go longer on this first stint then. Maxwell's going to do the same. What's happening behind? Smaller pits. Okay. So Gertie pitting that early is kind of triggering all of these pit stops now, I feel. I would say it's great, but no, that's only from front wing damage. Gertie's in a good spot at the moment. While we're on here, let's look at warnings. It's not letting me take control again. Oh, for God's sake. Stupid game. Right, Nifty's got one warning. That's good going. What is... Warning, invalidated lap. Okay, so Gertie's he's in trouble with warnings. He's on the verge of getting another penalty. I think he needs to dial it back. He's on the fresher tyres. He's going to be catching naturally. So I think he can dial it back a couple clicks. And it'll just bring him into a good spot. I think Stevie might have taken control now. No, that's AI driving that. Stevie, it might need be a reset to game. Reset your game thing. And everyone's coming in now. Lap 15. Let's see the undercut. And the undercut is massive. And is Moose going to fight this? He's not really going to fight this. He needs to be careful. There we go. And that is a... Is that gap to leader? No, it's interval. Leader. 3 seconds. Jesus, Moose. That was so close to the wall. Oh, he's already reset. That is not ideal. Maybe it's a reset your Xbox job. I have no idea. And there's... Ah, oh, no. That is not what he needed. Left Steve with another track limits penalty. This shows how hard he's pushing. Oh, silly son. That's a shame, mate. Because this would have been one of those races where you have to capitalise from people's incidents. Because the championship leader is currently in P15. Any battles on track? We've got Richie and Alex actually. Let's go. That doesn't work. Let's go here. These two have not stopped yet. One's on the mediums, one's on the hards. Penrose has been undercut by Smaller, who sets the fastest lap. That's interesting. Nifty's making a move on Moose. No, he's not. Not as of yet. I can do this with Nifty. Hang on. Button. Oh, piss. Right. Nifty's made the move. Now he knows Because he's got 6 seconds. He doesn't need to do anything stupid. He can just drive naturally. And with the fresher age of tyres, he should be able to catch. Because if I was going for this point, I'm not going to try and build the gap. I'm just going to hope that he gets a penalty. Saying that, he has built a gap. Corgi's retired in the pits. That is a shame because he gave us a lot of entertainment in the first 16 laps. We've got Richie and Alex, which is right on the tail. Now we've got Smaller, who's pitted behind these two as well. So I would imagine it's going to be a double whammy for him. And look, with the amount of traction he's got, he's already driven past Richie before we even get to the straight. Here comes the Aston Martin. With very high wings, you can tell. Oh, Jesus. What the hell was that? Was that a Mercedes? That was a Mercedes. Well done, game, for just spitting a AI car out on track like that. Max is still fighting this. Oh, excuse me. Wow. So we've got Moose hasn't pitted yet, so net positions at the moment. Go for Steve is leading, but he's still got penalties to serve. Nifty's P2 on course to take the net lead if it stays as it is. And then we've got Moose needs to pit. What's the gap to the wrong button? Maxwell's 9 seconds, so currently not in position to benefit with the Go for Steve's penalty. Well, Richie coming into the pits now. We took those mediums the furthest than anyone did. I'm surprised they went that far, to be honest. And Moose gets another time penalty. Let's get time penalties up, actually. Let's do that. So go for Steve with 6, Moose with 9, Penrose with 6, Alex 3, Taz 3, Twist 3, Jake 8 6, Richie 3. That's all the penalties sorted. We've got Raxwell on the gearbox of the Aston Martin now. Now he's going to want to get past this Aston Sharpish, who has wing damage. I don't know where he picked that up. Maybe he did touch the wall when he had that oversteer moment. Maybe he did touch the wall because he was on that side. I think. Yeah, he's there. So. Meanwhile behind, this is for track position between these two. We've got Socks on the gearbox of Penrose. And you can see how split up that massive group has become from undercuts and incidents. Because there's a train of, what, 10 cars? Now, look how split up the whole field is. We've got Socks going to go around the outside. No, he's cleared. Cleared before turn 1. A little bit deep, but he's going to have a second DRS, so he should be all good. That is, we're currently watching the closest battle on track. Greg, meanwhile, after the wing damage, made his way up to P11, and the two in front of him are yet to stop, so he's on course for points, which is a brilliant recovery. We're not sure how far he's going to get, but regardless, getting back into the points after dropping to the back, having to do an early pit stop with a wing change, is still good going. I'm terrified to look at the Discord later. Now, let's see what Penrose is going to do here. In the RB, number 69, because funny number. Ferrari in front is recharging the battery. That's all that Penrose needs. He's going to recreate what Sox did. And I imagine that's what we're going to see for the next few laps. Just swapping and changing between those two. And what we're going to do. Compare lap times. So what are the people doing on the last lap? 17.3. Good consistency. 17.3, 17.1, 17.2. Okay. So Nifty's catching on average about 3/10. Raxwell, not as consistent. He's got a quicker lap, but not as consistent. Moose hasn't pitted yet. 17.5, 3, 2, 4. Penrose had a good lap, then fighting and then all that kind of thing. Same with Sox. Okay. Okay. Kind of getting an idea for people's pace at the moment, given tyre age and overall pace. 2 Aston Martins in front. That didn't trip me out at all. I didn't forget that it's a team sport and there's 2 cars. Anyway, Moose slowly dropping back now. Him and Alex are the only 2 yet to stop. And is Sox going to go for a move on Penrose? No, he's not. Not as of yet. He didn't get a good run out of there, so not quite. I was about to say Seeley can come back, actually. Not quite in position to overtake. Hopefully Seeley can take control of his car, just so we can finish the race. Let's gap to the leader. Raxwell's closed a few tenths, I think. Because it was 19.4, I think, last time I checked. That was 18.9. 18? What numbers? Hello. 9.4, now it's 8.9. Meanwhile, on the recovery, we've got Greg, who's got Padge for company. Padge having a quiet drive. Is he going to make a move on Greg here? He thought about it. Smaller with the fastest lap. Okay. So good lap from Smaller then. He's up unleashing the afterburners, trying to catch. Of course he had DRS last lap, didn't he? Doy. Alex finally gets rid of those hard tyres. And that just leaves Moose. Sole driver on the hards, yet to pit. And we're not going to go 3 wide because Greg covers the racing line. Beautiful. So 14 laps to go. We've still got a long way to go in this race. So I think what's going to happen is Nifty should catch Gurf Steve. And they should fight on track. We've got a yellow. That is Gurfy with a mistake. And annoyingly, that is probably commentator's curse. Is he going to have DRS? Who's going to have DRS here? Okay, Gurfy's going to have DRS. Okay. And annoyingly, that puts Rackwell within striking distance of his penalty. He's on course for P3 at the moment. Let's see if Rackwell's got any track limits. Got 1 there. Only 1. See if Nifty's picked up any more actually, while we're on the subject. No. Gurfy Steve. You've got about 6 seconds, and then he got another. So he's still got 2. We've still got 1 more warning before he gets close to a penalty. But you don't want to use that because if he gets 9 seconds, he's probably off the podium. And I fear he might have got one there. Yeah, he would have done. He had a big snap. Smaller. Okay, Smaller's got a penalty, and that is given Steve a sigh of relief. Because if he does get another penalty, he should still be... Yeah, he should be fine. This is where the fact he undercut is going to have the oldest hard tyres by the end of the race. If Moose just... Well, Moose will have to pit. So, he will have the hardest tyres. Hardest tyres? That's not what I was trying to say. He will have the oldest tyres by the end of the race. So I think the best thing for him now is to just stick with Nifty and use his pace. Use the DRS to try and pull away from Maxwell beyond. But we know how quick that Williams is. Oh, swapping and changing. People, that's not where I want to go. I want to go here. Greg and Jay Clates. This is very good. Very good fight between these three. Only for the minor points places, but you know what? This is good to see. Unfortunately, Jay Clates does have a penalty, so the chances are he will drop back out of this trio. But still, it's still worth fighting. And Penrose has actually pulled away from Socks, just looking at it. Unless Socks has a good final sector, which he hasn't, he's going to be out of DRS. And, yeah. It's going to be tricky for him to try and hold on, I feel, being on older tyres. Same age as Gurfy Steves, actually. I completely missed that. Oh, hello, Johnny B. Yeah, it's just me today. Snacks is relaxing. He's resting because he's going on holiday next week. So it's just me. You've missed a very chaotic first stint. I think for the first 13, 14 laps, it was chaos. And it's settled down now. And people's strategy is just coming to a natural conclusion with 11 laps to go. Moose is refusing to pit. Maybe he thinks this is a 100% race and he has to go to lap 36 before pitting. Maxwell's actually catching the top interval to lead it. He is catching the top two. I don't think it's a rate of enough of a rate to catch Nifty for the win. However, it should cement him comfortably P2. Yeah, what's about time? It was very fun. It was the top two, these two, Nifty and Gurfy. They broke away. And then Raxwell, a little bit later, like a lap or two afterwards, cleared it. And then it was a massive fight between Corgi, Socks, Greg, Penrose. Steely was in there, Smaller was in there. There was like a 9-car train all trying to fight for P4. So it was really fun. They went 5 wide at one point nearly. It was very scary. You know, this is one of the closest fights on track. Meanwhile, we've got the scrap for P9, 10, 11 behind. Gurfy makes a move back into the lead. He should be able to pull away a bit on this DRS zone, and then we'll keep an eye on... Oh, I can do this again. Hello. Oh, that's nice. Keep an eye on that Delta in the second sector. I imagine Nifty should be able to stick close to him because of the fresher tyres. Meanwhile, we've got Jay Clates and Greg rounding out some lovely stuff. See, these are the kind of free-cast tussles you love to see. Very clean, lots of space given, no rational moving. Just lovely to see. I think Jay Clates has improved a lot recently. I remember back in like a season ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that, he was towards the back, getting knocked out in Q1 most of the time. Now he's fighting with Greg and Padge, and that is good company to be fighting with on track. If you're fighting those two, you know you're doing something well, because they're very clean. That's Richie with a time penalty. Oh, when we get to lap 30, I will check the time penalties. Moose finally decides to pit. What is he pitting onto? Is he going on to mediums? Yeah, he's going on to mediums. He's deciding not to change his front wing. He's clearly not causing him enough trouble where he feels he has to get rid of it. But he should be, even with that wing damage, the fastest on track. Where's Samantha? Sam's not racing. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why. But hey ho. Oh, nifty! That is probably the first mistake we've seen from Nifty in the race. Will he have DRS? I think he should do, because DRS detection is just between the hairpin and the final corner. No, he doesn't have DRS. Okay, so there's a slim chance for Gurphy to just pull away from DRS. It means it's just, I don't know what it means. He's got a track limit penalty anyway. What it means for Nifty actually is he's going to be pushing like crazy just to get DRS as soon as possible, which will be at the end of sector 2. He should get it. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine from there. Okay, I'm just looking at the fuel situation. Just started to look, just get close to my monitor and look at the fuel situation. Nifty's actually under fuel. So it could require a little bit of lift and coast. Because this is a fuel burning track. At least in my case anyway. Two cars he's fighting with for the podium are... Jesus! That was nearly a Red Bull plastered against the barriers then. Shows how hard he's pushing and how buggered his tyres are. What's the gap actually? To leader. Smaller is catching. The gap's now 9 seconds to the leader. And with, let's go, no, hello, buttons, hello, penalties. Gurphy's got 6 seconds. Smaller's got 3. So Smaller shouldn't be threatening Gurphy at this point, unless there's more penalties or any mistakes. What's that? Okay, I got confused between the dots. I saw a McLaren in the stadium section and thought, did Greg make a move there? No, he didn't. It was on this in turn 1 again. This battle seems to be slowly stringing itself out. The gap between the 3 cars here is growing a little bit. I don't know why Padge keeps going over to the left over there. Maybe keep getting his straighter exit? I don't know. Is Neely in the game? No, he's not. He can't. It won't let him take control of his car. That's a shame. Richie in P12. Everyone at the front has penalties. There's swapping again. Go Steve back into the lead. Nifty was ghosted then. I thought he left. Up to leader 5 seconds between Raxwell and Steve. Let's check Raxwell's penalties because you never know. No, he's kept it very clean in his second stint. Very well done. Someone who couldn't there was Taz. That is a horrible segue. I feel very mean for saying that. But that's fortunately another penalty. Let me bring the penalties up because I didn't check all of them. Alex has got 12. Oh dear. Not a good day for Alex there. 6 for Taz. Twisted. Richie, Jay Clates, Penrose and Steve. And 9 for Moose. This was a good lap from Steve. Nearly broke DRS. Say nearly. Not quite. And it looks to be plain sailings for Nifty's 6th win. And this will be the first time he's won since he went on that run of 5 wins consecutively. He's been on a bit of an odd streak recently, isn't he? He's been showing the pace, but he's been either unlucky in the races or just been kind of not in the fight for the lead. Well, I think Raxwell's made a mistake in there somewhere because he's dropped back a second. Yeah, he has. Let's have a look. He went off somewhere. Alex with another penalty. Let's check if he went off. He didn't go off. But look, over first sector, 1.2 seconds slower than before. So he's made a mistake in there somewhere. So I think if Gov Steve wants to hold on to the second place, he's going to have to get clever with DRS. Meanwhile, the battle for P8 now. And Jake Lates has put 8 tenths now on Greg. And it's actually, that train is catching Marlborough, who's in no man's land at the moment. Still a good recovery from Marlborough to P12 to P7. Good points for Ferrari. Taz with a 3-second time penalty. It's helpful that I'm not going to say helpful, but it's convenient that most of the people that have penalties are outside of the points. There's only 4 drivers in the points who've got track limit penalties. And on the whole, it shouldn't affect them that much. Penrose will drop a place, Steve will drop a place, and Jake Cates will drop a couple places. As it stands. Steve might drop 2 because Raxwell switched it on this lap. He's recovering from his mistake. Smaller is catching as well. He's slowly chipped away. But these top 4 have put on a very good drives. All 4 of them could be proud of this. Meanwhile, up there, see 2 cars fighting for the lead on the road. And I think even if Steve loses P2, what's P1's penalties? Steve has 6 seconds, unfortunately. And the gap to leader for Raxwell's 5.3. So Raxwell's on course for P2. Actually, while I'm here, because I can't remember qualifying, if I do... Not that way. Not that one. That's the one. Nope, that's the one. There we go. Biggest gainer in this race, that will be Padge with 6th place. Oh, Gurfy Steve makes another mistake. Still pointing the right way, and he's still got his front wing. I think that is put the nail in the coffin for his P2, unfortunately. It was always going to be a tall order from his penalty situation and with Raxwell's pace. As I was saying, the biggest gainers this race are Padge and Richie, both gaining 6. Raxwell's done well to gain 3, Penrose gained 4, Marlborough's gained 5. Biggest loser is Greg. Actually, no, it's Twisted. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. Gap to the leader. 6 seconds. Yep. Steve is still on course for P3 as it stands. Let's check track limits penalties. Oh, 2 warnings on 1 lap. Nifty got any more? No, he doesn't. Very clean. And same for Raxwell. Wow. So those two, very good. Very good second stints. And, oh dear. That. Oh, dearie me. So this last lap, I guess he's going to have the lap of his life to hold on to this podium. Warner's going to see that because he'll be able to see the cars in front. Gap to leader now. I'm going to hold on to this gap to leader because this could be crucial for the podium here. Of course, it's Nifty's win. And he has to say he was the favourite coming to this race and he's proved that today. But I'll tell you what, Ghosties gave him a good run. Unfortunately, he was just overstepped the mark a few too many times with track limits. That has cost him. I think Smaller's made some mistakes in there. Minutes. Hang on, so let me go. Penalties, 9, 6 seconds. I think Ghosties should still hold on to this P3. Actually, Penrose has made a mistake. Oh, he'll be kicking himself. Because that could be P2 without that final lap penalty. But Nifty takes his 6th win. Steve will get his first podium. Very well deserved. Raxwell as well. Very well deserved podium. I think Smaller actually ran out of fuel at the end. So yeah, that is UFC's podium. Smaller P4 after running out of fuel. Penrose a long way behind actually in the end. Finishes P5. Socks will finish P5 after penalties. I think Penrose ran out of fuel as well. And look, Greg, J. Clates and Padge have all caught Marlboro. Marlboro P7, Greg P8 after being spun into the wall. Padge P9, J. Clates P10. And that was lovely. That was a very good race. I enjoyed that. Steely, unfortunately, with his disconnects. I don't know if he'll be classified, but it's P11 anyway. Moose P12 after doing, what was it, 24, 25 laps on the hards. Richie P13. Taz, and then Alex. Rounds us off. Yeah, Nifty. That's his 6th win of the season. When was this? This might be like a Verstappen thing. His first win since when? I need to have a look. Let me have a looky here. That is his first win since Silverstone. Which was a fair while ago. Got back in on lap 32. Oh, so you were racing? Oh, okay. That's good to know. And so it will be classified then. Well, I think 2 people on that podium will be happy. Nifty and Raxwell. I think Steve will be kicking himself with the track limit penalties, but still a brilliant drive. I think if those top 3 could be happy with that. So yeah, that's that. Sox scores 10 points. Only scores... He gains 6 points on Greg. So the championship comes down to 10 points. Oh, I need to do maths now. Right, hang on. Greg is on 290. Wait. Yeah, Greg's on 290. Sox is on 280. And then 24... Oh, maths. Hello. Come on, brain. 257. 262 for Nifty. That is 290. Oh, I'm dumb as hell. I think 38 points. I could be completely wrong with that. I don't know. Maths is not my strong suit. I'm dumb as a box of rocks. But anyway, that was round 20 of 82 for IRL. That was very good. Next week is what is next week? What is next week? I know what it is next week. It is Brazil. After having a brilliant race there in real life, we are. It's going to be a good week next week with racing. It's going to be sprints, obviously, and we're going to have Tuesday no assist as usual, 81 Thursday, and this time next week it will be 82 again. I don't know if Snacks will be back. It'll probably be me again. I don't know if I'll do it solo or I'll bring someone with me, but regardless, have a lovely evening and we'll be seeing all of you lot next week. Lovely stuff. Actually, wait, before I do that, wait, professional. Driver of the day. Who do I give driver of the day? It's hard because the top three drive very well. I think I have to give it to Nifty for winning the race and not getting track limit penalties, but special mentions to the top two as well. Girthy for putting in, I'm going to say is a shock performance. I don't think anyone expected him to do that well. And Raxwell for basically doing what Nifty did and just was unlucky to be out of the DRS after the first two laps. Because I think if he was, he would be fighting up there with them. But yeah. Alright, now I'll end it. So have a good evening, everybody. And until next time. Lovely stuff. I need to end this now, don't I? Wait, buttons. Buttons. There we go.